Hello friends, it's me, Talk Yarny to Me, or Zuri. It's me, Zuri. This is Talk Yarny to Me. I'll be talking yarny with you for a few minutes. Yeah, how's everyone been? I know that I told you guys that I would probably be a little bit more sporadic because of some unforeseen circumstances, and that's kind of been the case. So I know I did show you guys some yarn a few days ago that I've been holding in my trunk for like 3 weeks and so I decided to pull it out and show it to you. But as far as like update videos, they're gonna be a little bit more spread out just for a little bit while longer, and it is what it is. But I have been persisting. Thank everyone for their prayers with our kind of family emergency. We really appreciate them. We're still kind of in the middle of it, but we'll come out of it, and we're fine. But I do appreciate all the prayers. Continue, those of you who are people of prayer, praying for us. It is felt and it's appreciated. But we continue to knit and we continue to crochet. So I have some finished things to show you. I have some in progress things to show you, and I have a new thing to show you. So we'll start with the finished things because I'm so excited about them. Well, okay, hold on. Start with a couple finished things. So I did tell you that week I was like, I had not done, I think I did that video like on a Thursday, 2 Thursdays ago. And I was like, I've done no hats for my hat challenge at all. And I was like, I don't know if I'll do any this week. Well, I did end up doing some because Saturday I was home alone and had some yarn and I did some hats. So I did this hat. This is just a chunky beanie. Ba-ba-da-ba. With the Red Heart Soft Essentials, which I believe is probably discontinued now, but I've got some still. So I'm working through that. Oh no, this is Red Heart Soft Essentials. This is Big Twist Gentle. Both of them are like chunky weights, like 5 or 6 weights, I mean. So I've been mixing those up and making kind of chunky beanies. And then I found this, this is a Red Heart Super Saver in the color Purple Tones, which I thought was really pretty, and I like the way the colors were working out. I decided to do something a little fun with it. So I just started with a regular beanie, and then I just did some little cluster stitches, and then went back to regular beanie, just because I thought the colors deserved it. Oh no, actually, what happened was I started a totally different hat with this, a Bag O' Day hat that was cool in concept, but once, I'll put a picture up, like I didn't like the final product, so I undid it. It just was too gappy for my liking, and it didn't, like, even like laying flat, like not on, it didn't look, it has like these puff stitches that were kind of sinking into the hat instead of standing out, and so it just didn't look great. Like I didn't think anyone would really pick it up and like it and look at it. On, the puff stitches stood out more, but then it was gappiness. I'll put a picture up and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I took it out, you know, and I just made this because I really like the colors, and I thought the colors deserved a hat. So I made that. Then I made, I don't remember which order I did, but I made these two as well. Just mixed them with the white. The white should be Big Twist Value, I believe. So I ended up with 4, even though I said I probably wasn't gonna do any. And then last week I did none. I started one and I didn't finish it. It's still sitting there in my room, just have not felt up to it. Plus I have been working feverishly on my last finished thing, which are my socks. So these are Crazy Sock Ladies Vanilla Sock Pattern. I did them on 32-inch circulars, size 1s. It's Peyton's Croy wool in the color Mexicali Stripes, which I do believe is discontinued, but I did see quite a bit of it on Amazon. So you can still get it if you like this. I did the medium size for her, which might be a little bit small. I feel like the toe decrease is definitely a bit narrow for my foot. Like you decrease way, like down way narrower than my foot, my personal foot, which is it's not wide, but it's slightly wide, I think. Like I don't have to buy wide shoes, but they don't hurt either. And the heel might be also a little bit narrow, but I wore them yesterday and they were fine. The only thing I will say about these socks is actually the yarn is just a little bit thick for where I live. It says it's a 1-way, and I talked about this last time. It's a thick 1-way because this calls itself a 2-weight. I would call this a 2-weight. I mean a 1-weight. I would call this a 2-weight. But I just went with what it said it was. And I did it on size 1 needles because that's what she used in the pattern. So this is a very dense sock, and it's very thick for where I live. Like, the only time I could probably wear, I wore these yesterday with some boots, but the boots were like fur-lined, and we're having a tad bit of a cold snap in Atlanta, not freezing, but chillier. And when I took them off, my feet were sweating a little. So the only time, like, these would probably be good with like boots that don't have lining in like winter. But you know, they're a little thick, but they're comfortable. They can definitely be around the house socks. This cuff is a little stretched out because I did put it on sock blockers. Because mainly I put it on sock blockers mainly actually because I felt like the toe decrease was so much narrower than my foot. I just wanted to make sure, I wanted to stretch that out a little bit, but obviously it stretched out the cuff a bit, but that's okay. I have very wide calves, so it didn't bother it at all. I was just a little bit off as far as lining up the colors, but it's close. Like, it's like half a centimeter off. You see that? So this here, this here is down here, so I'm missing just like this little bit of pink, which I couldn't get in there. The very tail end of the pink you see there, but yeah. Anyway, first pair of socks down. I did enjoy the process, so I will be making more. I did not ever think I would have fun making socks, which is why I never tried it. But I liked it. And it's funny because, so I think 2 Fridays ago, we had a really rough week at work, especially like the end of the week. And my boss kind of joked around, was like, let's just leave all this stuff here and I'll teach you guys how to knit socks, like in our chat. Because I work remote, we all work disparate places. And so we have, you know, our team chat. And I was like, oh, I just made my first sock this week. And so he was like, really? And, you know, he's asking me questions. He's like, circular needles or this, like, what kind of yarn? I was like, you know, 1-weight sock wool, circular needles, etc. Because my boss used to own a yarn company, apparently. And he's mentioned it before, but we've never talked about it. And so we were just talking, like, in the middle of, like, this work chat. And he was like, did you do one at a time or 2? And I was like, I did it 1 at a time. It's my first time. I just followed the thing. And he was like, 2 at a time is amazing. It's going to change your life. And I was like, I've heard that, but I don't have size 1 or 2 needles that are long enough to do 2 at a time. And of course, like for interchangeable sets, they don't usually do those very small needles because the interfaces can't hold up very well. At least they don't have size 1s. I've had 2s. I have at least one set with a 2, but I think that's the one where it broke. There's a interchangeable needles and they broke right here, like where it meets not even at the place where it screws in, but like right here where it meets the needle, the cord meets the needle. They broke when I was working on a shawl last year. So yeah, the interfaces don't hold up well. And so we were just talking about that, and he was like saying, yeah, some of them are just really bad for that. It's like, he's like, Addie's not great for that. And I was like, yeah, and I've never used Addie's. I'm a Knitter Pride girl. And he was like, oh yeah, I work with them to design some of their earlier sets. I was like, so we talked about it because we do like bi-weekly one-on-ones. And so as soon as I told him I was like knitting socks, he was like, this is the only thing on the agenda for our next one-on-one, which was like the following Tuesday. So we talked about it, and then I told him I'd send him a picture when I finished. So we actually had a chat today about something else. I was like, oh, I'm gonna send you a picture of my socks. And so so he yeah, we talked about it, and he said he had some other stories to tell me about his time in the yarn world, but we didn't get to that because he had some other things to do. So that's that was just a funny thing. But these socks, my boss loves me anyway, but it makes him love me more. So that's great. So that's all the finished things, things in progress. Okay, first of all, because it's right here, here is my MusseBurgh. I wish I had put in a marker of where it was the last time I saw you guys, but it's going good. I finally have got through like the fullness of the like how the pattern actually works out. So you see it does like the rainbow. It alternates the warm colors, it alternates with red. The cold colors, it alternates with purple. You see that? So like the yellow and orange alternate with red, and the green and the blue alternate with purple. And then it does red stripes, red and white stripes, purple and white stripes, red and white stripes, and then back into the rainbow. So that's finally figured out how the whole thing goes. If I was just making a regular hat, I could probably just do like a ribbed brim right here, and we would be, I might go a little further, maybe not. We would be done. But because I'm doing a double-sided hat, I'm gonna go for several more inches so that I can fold a brim, because I love a foldable brim. And then I'll start going, I'll keep going. I mean, so then that'll be half, and then I'll like keep going solid for another amount of time and then start decreasing. So that's it. It's still a little bit wide. It's not as wide as the first one that I started that ended up being like super big. I think it's pretty much fine. It's fine. This is it. And by the time I fold it in on itself, it'll kind of give it a little more tightness. But I like it. It's very cute. It's definitely cute. So this one, I kind of keep it in my bag. I work on it a lot, like when I'm in the car, but I'm not driving. I've been in a lot of waiting rooms lately. I've been working on it. I work on it in church sometimes, like when I'm way in the back. Depends on where I'm sitting. So I'll distract my pastor. But if I'm like way in the back, which is where we often sit, I'll work on it back there. So yeah, that's my one thing in progress, and I'm really happy. I'm gonna put a marker right now so that we can see how far I get. My other thing I gotta show you, I didn't put a marker in yet either. We'll just get in the habit of doing that. So we'll just stick this right here. All right. Green marker is our progress keeper, okay? So right now it's at what, 7 inches probably. So if I was just making a regular one-sided hat, I think this would be a pretty, I mean, it'd still be a cool hat. I think it'd be a really cool hat, and I would just do like a tighter, I might decrease a little the stitches and do like a tighter rib for the brim, but yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with it. By the way, before I show you the next thing, so this is how much leftover I have on my from those socks of my patent screw, and I have about the same amount left over in the other skein, because so I don't know, what do we do with leftover sock wool, with our sock wool scraps? What are some ideas? I know I've seen a few people make blankets, like scrappy blankets, which would take forever, and I'd have to really be in the habit of using these thin like sock wools a lot. If I get really in the habit of making socks, then that's an option, but I don't know that I'll be using this thick of a, I have some more Peyton's Croy, and I probably will not make socks with them because they are so thick. Or maybe I'll try with a 2-weight, maybe the next one I'll try with like a 2-weight, I mean not a 2-weight, a size 2 needle, and see if it kind of makes it a little bit of a less dense fabric, and maybe it'll be better for wearing socks in the South. But anyway, what do you guys do with your sock weight scraps? Scrappy hats probably would be nice, right? Or cowls. We'll see. We will see. Anyway, there's that. Okay, so my other work in progress, which I also don't have a progress keeper on this, but I will get one, put it on, is my heart blanket. Ooh, I can feel some stitches coming out. That's okay. How beautiful is this? Ah, I feel more stitches coming out. Stop it. Okay, let's pull some yarn up so you don't do that. All right, so as you see, I've made it to a color change. So this represents, lean back a little bit, one full skein of this pink yarn, which is Big Twist Value in the color light pink, I want to say. And then now I've moved on to the second color, which is called, I told you guys this already. This is light rose. The other one maybe was called pale pink. I don't remember. And this is like, so this is one full skein of the pink, the first pink, but this is 1.5 skeins of the titanium gray. So you see that I'm already at 1.5. So just those few post stitches every 4th rows, like they eat up a lot of the gray yarn. But I did buy quite a bit of extra, of the gray, so I should have enough. Hey Fuzz. So, and remembering that I did kind of change my gauge about halfway through, so this is a little bit off, but I believe like one row or whatever of this color has 17 inches. So I think I figured out that, I figured this out how I want to do it. I think I want to do 5 panels of the pink. So we'll go, maybe more. I can't remember now what I said. So we'll go like this one. Now this is a slightly darker pink, and then the third pink, I don't have it right next to me, but it's even darker than that. It's like kind of close to this pink, but it's rosier. Right? So we'll go into that darkest pink, then we'll come back out, I think, to the medium and then out to the lightest. And I think that'll give us a good length on this blanket. The width is whatever it is. I don't know, wide enough. Wider than right about my wingspan. So I have enough because I bought some extras of all. I had 2 each of the pinks, and I bought 1 more just to make sure of each. And then I had 3 total of the gray originally, and I bought like 7 more. So should be fine. If not, we'll figure it out, but it should be fine. And then I'm gonna probably want to not leave this pointy, so I'm gonna probably want to square out the top and the bottom, and then obviously do especially this side, like the sides, because I've been carrying the yarn on the side, so like one side is really showing you the wrong side. One side is like really kind of messier than the other, the edge. This is like the edge that I don't care. This is where I turn my work. So this is the edge where I turn my work, and then this is the edge where I carry the yarn, right? So I'm gonna want to put a border on each side of that too, a couple of stitches. So yeah, but this one has a ways to go. It is single crochets, 99%, plus it's just a handful of front post doubles to make the hearts. But I'm happy that I finally got through a full ball of the pink, and we're getting somewhere. It's almost big enough to keep me warm. It's a table runner right now. If I just leave it like this, a big thick acrylic one, which I don't know. It's a little, it'd fit on my little dining room table, but it wouldn't fit. But I have a little square one. It wouldn't fit on most. I don't know. Anyway, so there's that. And then, my new thing, and I'll talk about it, because I have showed you guys some stuff that, that's not in the video this week, just because I haven't worked on it. Oh, here, I'm going to put a progress keeper, even though it's going to be easy to remember where this one is, because it was the start of this, but I'll go ahead and put a progress keeper here, so that next time I see you, I will know how far I got. All right, now my new thing, which I just started tonight, is a cardigan. This is crochet. So I've been knit heavy for the last few weeks. Now I got a new crochet project. It's a cardigan it's a bag o' day cardigan. I don't remember if she has a name for it. This is just the back panel. I literally just started this like a couple of hours ago. Or I don't know, sometime this evening. So this is the back panel. I know it looks a little narrow, but that's meant to have a lot of positive ease. And it's a stitch called, she called it the silk stitch, which is pretty much you just stack double crochets on top of double crochets and single crochets on top of single crochets. So like as the opposite of a lemon peel stitch where you like stack them, alternate them, you stack them on top of each other. So it makes a nice little puffy texture. So the yarn I'm using is called Eddie Bauer Cozy Camp, which is a 100% acrylic, if I recall. Yes, 100% recycled acrylic. I didn't realize this was recycled. I feel like it's really soft. Like recycled yarns don't always feel this soft, but okay, that's nice. It's very soft. 100% recycled acrylic. It is 229 yards, 3.5 ounces. I'm gonna guess wash and dry, machine wash. Do not bleach. Yeah, do not tumble dry. I'm gonna tumble dry it. Absolutely gonna dry this baby. It's very soft, and the color is pale pink. This was an exclusive, like the Eddie Bauer lines were, I believe, exclusive to Joann. I don't know if there's anywhere you can buy them online, but I got this like months ago from Joann because I knew I wanted to make a cardigan out of it. It's actually been sitting like over here in this recliner behind me that's covered in junk for a couple of months, waiting for me to find and be ready to make a cardigan with it. And then I think back when they released this cardigan, I'll put the what are you called? link to the tutorial in the description box. But she just released it a few days ago and I liked it. So I felt like it was a good choice for this yarn. So that's my, I feel like this is gonna be a quick project. You do the 5 panels, so this is the back panel and the front left, front right, and sleeves. I'm putting a progress keeper on this one too. So yeah. And then what you haven't seen yet is the, what did I start? Oh, the GraphGAN. So I haven't done anything on it since the last time I showed it to you guys, just because it's one, obviously it's like something that I cannot do mindlessly. So I have to like sit down and be ready to pay attention to what I'm doing. And then I'm at a part where I'm like, not sure. I have to go look at the tutorial. The tutorial is not for the pattern I'm doing, but it's just like a how to do a GraphGAN tutorial. And I got to go look at it and see, because it's a part where like you join, like the color starts like several squares in front of where like it ended the last row. So I don't know if I'm supposed to carry, how I'm supposed to carry that yarn, or if I was supposed to carry it in the previous row so it'd be ready or what. So yeah, I gotta go look at the tutorial and I just haven't felt like doing that. So that one, I didn't work on it all. Probably see, I'm gonna try to get some work on it maybe this weekend. I think I'll be mainly home alone, so maybe that'll be a good time. We got to do a lot of cleaning ever since we've had this like family stuff going on. Like both me and my husband have not felt up to doing like any of our chores, and so even this like yesterday he was like, okay, one more week of dirty house and then we gotta clean up next weekend. And I was like, all right, yeah, you know. And so yeah, we got to do some cleaning. I walked in my kitchen floor without my socks the other day and it was not pleasant. So yeah, so you guys haven't seen that. And then what you haven't seen in a while too is my Ophelia Talks Little Black Crochet Dress. I think I told you, like, I just felt it was like coming out way too big, and so I was either gonna have to start over, which I can because I have a lot of that yarn, which is Bernat Softy Cotton. I have several skeins of it. I can leave the partially done part for now, just where it is, and just start over with some new skeins. But I feel like I actually want to try a different pattern. As much as I think it was a beautiful pattern, I feel like, yeah, I want to try a different pattern instead of that pattern. We'll see though. So I'm just leaving that in timeout for a little bit, and doing some other stuff. Oh, and I didn't bring him down, but I did start. Remember, I got that little crochet kit, and I did start Snorlax. Maybe I'll put a little picture in. And then I got to, because the yarn comes in Hanks, little Hanks, and in the kit. It's not in skeins or balls or anything. So I got to use, you see my yarn winder and my Swift right there. I got to use them, try them out to hank up my yarn. One of them was a disaster. I didn't even, and then the other two worked okay, but I guess I didn't put it on the Swift like correctly, because it was coming, like, both of them, no matter how I positioned it, it was like the yarn was kind of coming from the inside of like the loop, and so it would like it wouldn't like smoothly just turn it. I had to like kind of feed it. I had to turn it manually, like turn the Swift and feed it into the electric winder, but it still made these beautiful little cakes. I'll take a picture. I've got like the Snorlax, the body halfway probably, and I gotta start decreasing. I'm at the point where I have to, like, I've got it to the biggest increase point, and then it's got to start decreasing. I worked on that last week just for that one night, and then I haven't worked on it since, but he's just there. I was going to try to rush it and get it done for my son's birthday, but then I was like, I absolutely will not do that. And so his birthday came and went last week. He is 14. I am not okay with that, but it is what it is. And yeah, his birthday came and went. There was no Snorlax to be seen. And so I did show it to him though. Like, I was working on it, I think probably on Monday night. His birthday was on Wednesday. And I was like, look what I'm working on. I said, guess what I'm working on? I think I showed him the yarn, like, as I was doing it, but it just wasn't far enough along. And I was like, trying to get him, I was giving him hints. I was like, it's a Pokemon. It starts, it starts with S. And he was like guessing all these like really elaborate Pokemon. And I was like, it's just, you know, Snorlax is just a simple, silly one. And so, yeah. But he's up there. I'll put a picture up if I haven't already. And you'll see my little yarn cakes. They're beautiful. And I definitely, yeah, looking forward to playing a little more with the Swift. And interestingly enough, after I put together the yarn winder and I was like reading, and I kind of figured out, and then I actually went and looked back and looked at the instructions closely for the yarn winder. And one, I had it too close to the Swift, so maybe that was part of the problem, but it also says not ideal for use with wooden umbrella Swift, which is exactly what I have. I don't know why it's not ideal for use with a wooden umbrella Swift. I feel like when I saw it being demonstrated, like the video that kind of like led me to buy that exact model was demonstrated by like another YouTuber who like I think got sent the product to review it and had a discount code. I gotta look again, but I feel like she was using a wooden umbrella Swift and it worked fine, but I gotta check. But either way, it's fine. But yeah, once I get to using all those hanks I bought, plus there's hanks like the ones I bought a few months, like what, a month ago, to make the KNC sock wool, and yeah, the KNC sock wool that I want to try to do some color work with and make sweaters with. And then I have other hanks. I have like a bunch of 2/8 hanks that I found at Joann like a couple years ago, the first year that they did the hand dyed yarn, the KNC hand dyed. I had a bunch that went on clearance, and they were like in a back corner, like not with the regular clearance yarn, but like kind of hanging up on a different, like in a whole different row. And so no one ever saw them, and so I just grabbed all of them and rescued them all because they were all coming unraveled and all that. They weren't all colors that I would necessarily have picked if I was buying them full price, like for me, but like one was like kind of a lime green. I think the others were, the dog has something he shouldn't have. I can hear him. Hamilton. I'm gonna take him out for one more walk. The others were maybe some pink. And then there were some I bought though. I bought this pretty blue one that I want to do something special with too. Those I actually bought myself, like not on clearance, but I went and picked them out. And so yeah, I can't remember if those blue one, though I know the pink and the green are like cotton. The blue one might be the cotton too, but I can't remember. It might be the wool. And then I just bought this last time I went to Joann, the final time. I bought the I bought one color of the, what do you call it, the wool one, because I just have always never bought it, and I finally found a color like that I really liked. So I bought it. I think I showed it to you guys. So you know, I got a lot of hanks to wind, and like I said, I usually will just put it on the back of my chair and just spin the chair, but you know, I'm gonna be a big girl. So yeah, it was good. I didn't go to the Joann's, but I was like, I had to return something to Amazon, and I do it at Kohl's, and Kohl's is like right next to Joann. And my Joann is still there. You know, they got the signs out. It's still saying like 25 to 40% off, but we know the yarn is only 25%. And I thought about popping in, but one, it's too sad. And two, I feel like I've got everything that I wanted to get out of my store. I'm sure they got a bunch of, like, I know a lot of them are still like getting trucks in the warehouse, like emptying out the warehouse and sending it to the stores. And so they probably are getting like boxes and boxes of stuff to go ahead and sell out. So they might have like new stuff in there, but I think I'm good. The only thing I would consider getting is, when I was there the other day, I saw this new big twist yarn called Icing. It's like this big fluffy ball of probably like 5 or 6 weight, like a roving, but it's like super light and fluffy. I think Erin at Crafting Kitty might have got a few balls of it. And I saw it, but then at the time, like, you could still use the app and stuff. So I looked on the app, and it was just way cheaper to get it on the app. And plus, there was still like a 25% coupon I knew about that was floating around. But then I was like, I'm not gonna buy it. Like, I don't generally use, like, I would have to get a bunch of it to do anything with it. I don't use that size. Like, there's nothing, you know, it just was just so soft and pretty and like fluffy. That's the only reason I wanted it. And just different. But that would be the only thing I would even consider getting. I feel like everything else, I've gotten what I wanted. I know a lot of people stocked up on the Big Twist Value, which I like, which is good. But like, you know, like I always say, there's gonna always be other places to get a value for with acrylic. So as much as I like it, I have, for the bigger projects that I'm actually doing, I have more than enough. And then just my one-off skeins like that I can use for hats and things like that. I have enough of those, so there's not any like that I need to stock up on. I don't have like, you know, I'm not one of those people that makes like, you know, things to sell or whatever that I have to stock up on, like my preferred yarns. So it's just for fun. What do you have? My dog has something. All right, I gotta go rescue something out of his jaws and take them out to use the bathroom before it's already too late. It's 10 o'clock, but they gotta go before so they don't go crazy overnight. Anyway, so yeah, no hats for last week. Those hats you saw were 2 weeks ago. I have not done any hats yet this week. Today is Monday the 10th. But I think I do need to get back on that. I just like fell off the wagon. And so now, you know, once you like lose your momentum, it's harder to get it back. But I'll work on that. So yeah. Anyway, thank you once again, I say, for all the support and prayers. And I will talk to you guys soon. Hopefully I'll see you next Monday with 7 hats. Anyway.